Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andy of AndyBaker.com and owner of Kingwood Strength and Conditioning, and we're going to do another little Q&A blast for you guys. So I kind of pulled the questions out of some various sources for stuff that people have emailed me, things that are on my programming forum at StartingStrength.com, as well as a few questions that have popped up in the comments section of my YouTube videos. I really don't get into YouTube commentary too much, so that's why you don't see a lot of replies from me on my videos. So if you have questions about any of the videos that I put out on YouTube, just ask me in my my programming forum at StartingStrength.com, and I'll be happy to answer them there. So we are going to basically, I've kind of picked about like 13 random questions, and we're going to do these, probably release these over 3 or 4 different videos to try to keep them, try to keep the video length a little bit shorter. So anyways, let's get started. A couple of questions from the last YouTube video that I did, which was the fat loss video, the strength training and fat loss video. So if you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. You recommended a fairly low amount of carbs. Do you adjust that for sport athletes? I kickbox 1 to 4 times per week. Yes, definitely. The carb intake needs to match your activity level somewhat. So look, if you're just a fat, overweight desk jockey, and you're 45 years old and you need to drop 50 pounds of body weight because you're in poor health and you're overweight and you're sedentary, you don't need a lot of carbs. You need to drop the carbs out of your diet. You need to get your weight down. I'm not one of these guys that says, you need to make sure you run out your novice linear progression before you lose any weight. I don't believe that. Not unless you have a really compelling reason to not get the weight off. But again, if you're like a lot of my clients are, if you're, late 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're drastically overweight and you're in poor health, get your weight off. Okay. Strength train, get as strong as you can, but get your weight down. Now, if you're just wanting to drop 10 pounds, so you look better at the pool with your shirt off, that's different. But if your health is at risk because you're overweight, you have high blood sugar, all the other indicators, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all that, get your weight down, strength train to the best of your ability 2 to 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week if you're doing a split routine, something like that, and get your carbs down, and get your weight where you want it to be. And then you can adjust your diet to be more supportive of a proper barbell training program. But there's no reason. I have a guy emailed me the other day that was, like 340 pounds or something, and he was worried about cutting his carbs down because he was in the middle of his linear progression. And this guy's, he's older, he's got kids. You're already squatting over 300 pounds. You're as strong as you need to be for general health. There's no reason to sacrifice your health like that for just for a few extra pounds on the bar. So again, that's for somebody that's needs to lose weight for their health, which is a lot of the clients that I work with. And what you'll find is if you're drastically overweight, you can still run an LP and lose weight. And the weight on the bar will go up as the weight comes down. If you're really, really overweight. So you can have success on both ends. So again, that's different than the guy that's just trying to shed a few pounds, to look better at the pool or whatever. That's a little bit different story. In that case, yeah, you might want to kind of milk your linear progression or that sort of thing, and kind of maximize that, and then wait to drop those few extra pounds off. And it'll work better when you're stronger and have more muscle mass anyway. So, but yeah, going back to his original question, if you're a sport athlete, maybe you're just wanting to trim down a little bit, for weight class or just, to look better or whatever. And you're not able to lift and practice and play your sport on, 100 grams of carbs a day, then yeah, obviously, you can bump those carbs up a little bit, time them around your, activities so that you have, some carbohydrate available to actually, get through a practice or get through a game, get through your workouts, that sort of thing. And then the same deal is when you're the further removed you are from a training session or a practice or a game, then you want to get your carbs back down and emphasize more proteins and fats. But yeah, if you need to bump that up, then obviously, and then you're still just want to kind of, look at you're just going to want to look at your weekly weight loss, 1 or 2 pounds a week if you're trying to drop weight, and you would just have to kind of play with your carb intake. There's no formula I can give you that say, yeah, you need exactly this many carbs if you're doing kickboxing 4 times a week to lose weight. You're just going to have to kind of arbitrarily pick a number that you feel like makes sense and go with it for a couple of weeks and see what your body weight does. If that's 250 grams of carbs and you don't lose any weight, then your carbs probably need to come down. If it's 100 grams of carbs and you're falling on your face because you have no energy, and your weight's coming down way too fast and you're weak in the gym, then you probably need to bump those up a little bit to slow that weight loss down and have a more reasonable weight loss, so you're not sacrificing all your muscle mass and all your performance in the gym.